You think if something happened to you, you'd remember it clearly and correctly. But what if I told you your brain has been quietly rewriting your past and you never even noticed? This isn't a conspiracy theory. It's one of the most well-documented findings in psychology. It's called memory distortion, and it happens to every single person on Earth. Here's a simple example. Have you ever argued with a friend or family member about how an event happened? You're both sure you remember it correctly. You can't both be right. So which one of you is lying? Usually neither of you. You're both just remembering wrong. In the 1990s, psychologist Elizabeth Loftus ran an experiment that changed how we understand memory forever. She showed people a video of a car crash. Then she asked one group, how fast were the cars going when they hit each other? She asked another group the exact same question, but replaced one word smashed instead of hit. That one word changed everything. People who heard smashed estimated much higher speeds. But here's the unsettling part. A week later, those same people were more likely to remember seeing broken glass at the scene. There was no broken glass in the video. One single word rewrote what people believed they saw with their own eyes. Their brain didn't just misremember a detail, it manufactured a detail that never existed and handed it back as truth. This is called the misinformation effect, and it doesn't need a scientist in a lab coat to happen to you. It happens every time you hear someone else's version of an event before your own memory fully settles. Their words quietly slip into your memory and merge with it, which raises an uncomfortable question. If a single word can plant a fake memory, how many of your own clear memories were shaped by something someone else said? It gets stranger. In another famous study, researchers convinced a quarter of participants that they had been lost in a shopping mall as a child. This never happened. But after just a few conversations, some participants didn't just believe it, they added their own details. One person even remembered the color of the man's flannel shirt, who helped find them a completely false event. Fully fleshed out with sensory details their brain invented from nothing. This is called the Lost in the Mall study, and it's one of the most cited pieces of evidence that memory isn't playback, it's reconstruction. Here's the part that should really bother you. Every time you recall a memory, you're not opening a locked file and reading it exactly as it was saved. You're pulling it out, and then before putting it back, your brain edits it slightly, adds a little color, removes a little detail, blends it with something more recent. Scientists call this reconsolidation. Every recall is a rewrite, which means the more you remember something, the less accurate that memory might actually become. This isn't a flaw in a few unlucky people. This is how every human memory system works, including yours, including mine. Courtrooms have had to completely rethink how much weight to give eyewitness testimony because of this research. In fact, DNA evidence has overturned hundreds of wrongful convictions in the United States, and eyewitness misidentification played a role in the majority of them. Not because witnesses were lying, because they were absolutely certain about a memory their brain had quietly altered. So if trained adults, under oath with everything at stake, can misremember events with total confidence, what does that say about the small, everyday memories you've never once questioned? Your first day of school, that argument you had 5 years ago, the exact words someone said to you that still hurt today. Some of those details are probably not what actually happened. And here's the twist that makes this genuinely fascinating instead of just unsettling. This flaw might actually be a feature, not a bug. Memory isn't designed to be a perfect historical archive. It's designed to help you predict the future. Your brain constantly updates old memories with new information because it's trying to give you the most useful version of the past, not the most accurate one. That's why trauma survivors, over years of therapy, can sometimes reframe painful memories in ways that reduce their emotional grip. The memory itself can shift, not just the feeling attached to it. So the same mechanism that makes eyewitnesses unreliable in court is the same mechanism that can help the human mind heal. It's not broken, it's just built for a different job than we assumed. Which brings us back to the question from the start. If your memory isn't a recording, what actually is it? The best current answer: your memory is a story your brain tells itself, rebuilt every single time from fragments filtered through your emotions, your beliefs, and whatever you've heard since. It feels solid, it feels certain, but it's closer to a live performance than a fixed recording. And once you actually sit with that, you'd start to see every "I remember it exactly" claim a little differently, including your own. So next time you're 100% sure about how something happened, maybe hold that certainty a little more loosely. If this changed how you think about your own memories, that's exactly the point of this channel. Hit and subscribe if you want more of these, because the next one might change how you see something you've never once questioned: mechanics behind how your mind actually works.